Landy Paraga was full of life and energy. She was a successful businesswoman and a social media star in Ecuador. Her smile was contagious, and she had a bright future ahead of her. Sadly, on April 29, 2024, her life was tragically cut short. Paraga wasn't just a pretty face. She owned a store that sold things for people's homes, showing her talent for design. She also had her own brand of sportswear, reflecting her active lifestyle. She was a role model for many young people in Ecuador. Her murder shocked the entire nation and reminded everyone of the dangers that sometimes hide beneath the surface. The way she died was especially shocking. Two men, hiding their faces, walked into a busy restaurant where she was having lunch. They shot her 3 times in front of everyone, and then disappeared. It was a planned attack, and it left everyone wondering why someone would want to kill her. Security cameras recorded the entire event, showing how quickly and coldly the killers acted. The footage was shown on every news channel, and people couldn't stop watching, even though it was scary. It made everyone realize that nowhere felt safe anymore. The killers were gone before anyone could stop them, leaving behind a scene of panic and sadness. Landy Paraga, the businesswoman, the social media star, was gone. Her life, full of hopes and dreams, was cut short. She became another victim of the growing problem of violence in Ecuador. The whole nation mourned her death, not just because she was young but also because it felt like a loss of innocence for everyone. The police immediately started investigating, trying to find the killers and understand why this happened. Everyone wanted answers. Who would order someone to kill Landy Paraga, and why? As they investigated, a name came up, a name that people were afraid of: Leandro Norero, also known as El Patron. Leandro Norero was a very dangerous man. He was Ecuador's most well-known drug trafficker, someone who built his power through selling drugs and hurting people. He had even pretended to die from COVID-19 at one point, but he was caught and put in prison. Even in prison, he was still powerful and dangerous. Then, during a big fight in the prison, Leandro Norero supposedly died. But after Landy Paraga's murder, people started whispering that she and Norero had known each other. The police found messages on Norero's phone that suggested he had given Paraga expensive gifts, like apartments and cars. As the police investigated further, the whispers got louder, and people started accusing Paraga of being involved with Norero's criminal activities. Was she caught in his web of danger? Was her murder a way to keep secrets from coming out? This investigation, called Operation Metastasis, revealed a huge network of criminals that had even infiltrated the government. Judges, police officers, and prison guards were all involved in corruption. Landy Paraga's murder wasn't just a single tragic event, it was a sign of a bigger problem in Ecuador. The country was facing a crisis of violence and corruption that was spreading everywhere. Ecuador, once a peaceful place, had become a dangerous battleground in the fight against drugs. The number of murders had increased dramatically, showing how bad the situation had become. The new president, Daniel Noboa, had just started his job a few months before Paraga's murder, and he was now facing a very difficult challenge. He declared a state of emergency and sent the military to try to control the violence, but it wasn't enough. The port city of Guayaquil, once an important center for trade, had become a major hub for drug trafficking, bringing in even more violence. It seemed like the government couldn't stop it because of all the corruption. Landy Paraga's murder, caught on camera for everyone to see, became a symbol of Ecuador's struggle. It reminded everyone that violence could happen to anyone, anywhere. Her death sparked anger and sadness, and people demanded justice and an end to the corruption and violence. But as the investigation continued, one question remained: could Ecuador ever truly escape the darkness that threatened to swallow it whole?